Okay, so this video is going to show you how to take all the basic parts that we've spent several lessons making, and we're going to put it together in something that looks like this, which is a complete chessboard. Okay, so I'll get rid of this and we'll start with the blank slate. If you go over to the 9 cubes on the left hand side and open it up, you're going to try to find where you've kept your parts. And I believe... So this is mine over here on the side. We'll probably start with a chessboard. Now, there's a couple ways of doing it. Once you save your object, so it's in the right folder, so I'm going to call this complete board. And we'll give it a version number because it could mess up. We're going to hit save. So once we've saved our document, then we're allowed to bring objects in. So the first thing that we want to bring in is the chessboard. So we could probably just click OK here. If we wanted to, so that's kind of upside down. So if I click top, so maybe I could go back and redo that. So if we bring it in, and you can see that I'm looking at it from the top, so I would like to see that top view. The problem is that I have to move it a little bit just to see the tools for moving everything. So we would want to hit escape to get out of our move tool, and then we're going to move this 90 degrees. And then we can keep testing by clicking on the top. So that seems to be what we want. And then we can hit home, and that works out perfectly. It might be different for yours, so don't worry too much about what you have to do. The other thing is that there's a little chain icon here, and you can click on it. Actually, you probably got to open it. Actually, what do we got to do? So I right clicked on it, and then I can break the link. And so what that does is any changes that I make in this file is not carried over to our sample file. And so then the first thing we might want to do is bring in our castles, because they go in the corner. And I don't like it when it comes in on top of the board, so I'm going to have it over top of the board. And I could move it off if I wanted to. So I'm going to accept that. So you'll notice that this castle comes in, and I guess it's still hovering in space. It comes in linked, so I'm going to break that link. So I'll do a right click, I'm going to break that link, and then I'm going to do something that's got to be very specific. So I'm going to do a right click, and I'm going to copy it. So if I save copy as, that's going to show up in this folder over here. But if I just copy it, and then this is important, you got to come up here and you do a right click, and then you're going to paste new. So it has to be paste new. So what happens there is that I get 2 copies of our chess piece. Now capture position is probably a good idea. So now I've got 2. I'm going to name one of them. Let's go, what do we got? Blue. So we're going to call it the light one. Light castle. And then this other one's going to be called the dark castle. And so what we can do is we can turn them on and off. So I've got the dark castle on. It's already colored the color that I want. You can change that if you want. So I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to turn this one on. So now I got to do a right click on this one, and maybe I'll have to do it over here. So I hit escape about 3 times, and I'm looking for how to change the color or appearance. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So I'm looking for changing appearance. So I want a color that's going to be a contrast to blue. What are we doing? Paints. Paints. Metal flake. So let's go with yellow. You can tell I'm not very good at being an artist. Sometimes you got to download them. So we're going to bring yellow up. And now we can color our pieces. Okay, so, excuse me. So once we have the two colored ones, we can start duplicating them. So we'll close this up and we'll go right click. We're going to do it again, copy. We're going to go up here and we're going to paste new. So now we got two of them. We capture position and we click OK. And now we're going to do right click on the dark ones and we're going to copy. We're going to go up here and we're going to paste new and we'll bring them over there. Okay, so we've got our pieces and now we're just going to try to select them. And here's where it gets a little specific too. So I'm going to go to assembly. So I hit escape once to get out of my move tool. And I'm going to form a joint. So the first thing you do is you're going to click on the movable piece. And you can sort of see that I want to put the little cookie right in the middle. So then from here I want to find the square. So I hit escape to get out of the move tool and I'm placing that right in the middle. So that works out well. The spacing is good. If I wanted to flip it, I could flip it, but I actually don't want to flip it. And so that works out perfectly. To show you that again, we're going to look at the underside of a piece. We'll do the yellow piece this time. We'll go to joint, zoom in, and we want right in the center. And then we're going to go down here and hit orbit. And we want it to be in the opposite corner. So we hit escape once to get out our move. And so now when we click OK, we have our two pieces. Okay, so you just repeat the process for those two. For doing your pawns, so every once in a while you can save because you don't want to lose your board and all the work that you've done. You'll notice that these joints are up here, so you can turn them off when you want to submit this document. Okay, so when we're bringing our pawns in, it's going to be the same idea. I'm going to move it over, and this time I'm going to tilt it because we did run into a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to hit escape, we're going to tilt them over, and that will make it easier to place them. So then we're going to click OK. We've got our pawn, we're going to do a right click and we're going to break the link. From there you're going to right click and you're going to copy. And then it's important to go up here and we're going to paste new. So now we've got our second pawn. So we're going to click OK. So we're going to keep one blue and then we're going to right click on here, we're going to rename this one. And it's going to be the light pawn. And then the other one by default will be the dark pawn. Okay, so now we're going to turn off the dark one and we're going to so that was a right click to get to here. We're going to go to appearances. We've already selected yellow, so we're going to put it on that one. So it says, do we want to keep? We want to remove it. And then we want to click OK. So we're going to need 8 pawns. So we might as well do those at the same time. So we're going to go right click, copy, and then we're going to paste new. And we can just move them up. You can click on capture position. Sometimes that's more important than other times. Now I don't have to, I can just keep pasting new. And I'm moving them so that they'll be easy to place. Paste new. Okay, so you would keep going until you have all of them. I'm not going to make you watch that. So I'm going to go joint. I'm going to click on the underside. And now, because I've positioned them in a way that I can just move them easily, I can click OK. And I can go to joint. Now you realize that there's a short key for that. So if you're trying to do these fast, we're going to go J for joint. And click. And it's just important that you get them properly. You can hit on the keyboard, J for joint, select the movable one first, then the stationary one, click OK. J for joint again, we're going to select and select, click OK. So just to confirm what we're doing here, we're going to do a copy on the dark pond. We're going to copy, click up here, and go to paste new. We're going to bring this up and out of the way, and we're going to paste new again. Whoop. Click, and just to keep going, and we'll stop at that point. So now it's J for joint, or go up to assembly, click on the movable, click on the square, click OK. You could do a pattern to the side, but the problem with the pattern is later on when we create an animation, that's going to be making it difficult. So J for joint. Okay, so you get the idea. Now there's one that's very obvious, and that's this knight. So maybe we'll save again. So we'll bring in the knight. Okay, I screwed up a little bit. So I'm going to bring in the knight. You can actually do a right click and you can have it insert to current design is another way of doing that. Okay, so this one's up. We're going to tilt it further and click OK. So we're going to break the link. We're going to right click and copy. We're going to click up here and we're going to paste new. So we can bring this over here. Click OK. Now, when I place this one, I'm going to go joint, click the movable, and it goes here. So now if you know anything about chess, it's facing the wrong direction. So what you can do is you can grab the little slider and you can face it the right direction. So that's basically what you have to do. And I think I'm going to stop the video at this point. So good luck, and hopefully that will be workable.